back, right and left. We're doing still preparatory work for that. And so we've been working with two main things. We've been working with grounding, and then we've been working with getting introduced to the centers. And so today we're going to continue to work on the grounding practice. And then we're going to work on the heart center. And the heart center is what we're going to be sort of opening up and getting acquainted with today. And then just a little recap on the four grounds. So there are four basic grounds that we kind of, when we're doing this meditation work, a little background program should be running the four grounds at all times. And the four grounds are, you do them top down or bottom up. I'll do them top down today. The first one is being grounded in awareness itself. And so just being aware of being aware. So while you're in this room, there's content that you're seeing and hearing and feeling. We just put a little awareness back on the process of the seeing and feeling and hearing, and being grounded in mind and the fact that the mind itself is acting as the first ground. And then we put the mind on the breath, and we do that with sort of, shamatha practice of the nose, and then the breath is the second ground. So we're grounded in the breath, and the breath full flowing in and out of the whole body. The third ground is the body itself and being grounded in the sensory awareness of the body. And then the fourth ground is the earth. And so when we get going, we're going to start with a basic practice that puts us in relationship with the four grounds, and then we're going to start working with the heart. Any questions? Ready? Ready? Mm-hmm. All right, so just don't change anything, but just put down the part of you that, and I'm speaking to myself as much as anyone else, the part of you that thinks there's any work to do right now. Any sense of straining or effort. Turn up your sense of safety and curiosity. Bring your attention to your body, sitting on the cushion. Then bring your left hand to your heart. Bring your right hand to the left. Left hand to the heart, right hand to the left. And we're going to do a chant of Om together, just to synchronize before we start. So breathing in. And hands on the knees. And the next thing we do at the start of every practice is we activate the breath, and we do 33 really deep inhales and relatively full exhales, but the inhale is more important to be full with the mouth open. This is what Wim Hof calls Wim Hof breathing, although it's been around a lot longer than he has. I'm going to do 30 breaths, accelerating, and then slowing down, and then the last 3 are super slow. And we're going to do this, we normally do this with the arms coming up and down, like on this particular practice, I want focus on the heart. So it's actually, so although your arms are going up and down, it's your heart that's driving. So feel like your heart's expanding on the in-breath, shrinking on the out-breath. Okay. All right, so on 3, 1, 2, 3. Directing energy right in the center of the heart. And then slow right down. And now let your sense of self and awareness just kind of congregate in your belly, letting the neurons in your belly reinforce your consciousness. And then come back into the heart in relationship with the belly. Let your breathing just settle. I'm going to start the basic grounding practice. So first, be aware of being aware. You can let your eyes open a little bit. Take in the space. Being curious about what it is to be in awareness. Now relaxing your face and head and scalp and relaxing your mind itself. And let your mind be like the sky. Clear blue summer dome of heaven. Feel how your awareness is actually as large as space itself if you let it be. So now we're going to take all of that mind. We're going to rest it on the experience of the breath of the tip of the nostrils. So without changing anything, just be aware. Be aware of coolness on the in-breath, warmth on the out-breath. If your nose hairs are tingling, let past and future subside, let any other thoughts subside. All your awareness be right on the point of the tip of your nose. Just see how much you can sharpen up the sensations in there. Now we're going to do one full breath, breathing in and breathing out with continuous awareness on the tip of the nose and the sensations of breathing. What we're doing is we're taking the whole of our mind and we're resting it right in the awareness of the breath on the tip of the nose. Kind of like the whole sky just balanced on the tip of your nose perfectly. Now let's do 3 breaths. It's kind of like there's a searchlight spotlighting the tip of our nose. And everything else is dark and quiet. Totally aware of any other sensations in our body and in space. Foregrounding this experience at the tip of the nose. So we're going to transition this in a moment. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to complete an out breath. And then on the in breath, we'll do the out breath together. And on the in breath, we're going to bring our awareness in through the tip of our nose and have our awareness fill the entirety of our breath from nose all the way down to the base of the diaphragm. So breathing out together. And then breathing in. Let your awareness fill your nostrils, your nose, the inside of your brain, all the way down into your lungs, filling. And then let go. We're going to do 5 breaths like that. So really on the whole breath. Continuously with the breath. If anything else comes up, just fold it in. Chocolate chips and cookie dough. Now I want us to be really accentuating the extent of the in-breath and the out-breath. And now let your attention move to the whole body. And on the in-breath, the mind is sitting on the breath. The breath is flowing through the whole body, down to the tips of the toes. Just be aware of every sensation in your body. And then let yourself rest in it. Mind with the breath, breath penetrating the entire body. And on the next in breath, just be really aware of the boundary between our body and the ground. Start breathing up into the perineum. And breathing back out down into the earth. Aware of the ground beneath us. Aware of the lines of gravity. Then on the next out breath, just let our awareness flow right down into the earth. Imagine there's a column that's opening up under you, a column of space thousands of miles deep. You can just look down and see all the way to the core. Feel yourself grounded in the earth, grounded in your body, fully aware of the extent of your breath. Letting your mind rest and be open. All right, so this is kind of the state of basic grounding. We get into in a bunch of different ways. There's a top-down way. Sometimes we start in the earth and work up. But either way, for the rest of the practice and the rest of your life, as much as we can stay connected to the ground, to our body, to our breath, and to our mind simultaneously, it creates an incredibly safe space for the opening that we're about to do. So now, without disturbing yourself too much, and slowly, let's move to lie down. So, we're going to lie down with our feet firmly on the ground, soles on the ground. We have our knees leaning into each other. So you want to separate your feet out far enough that your knees naturally rest into each other and that they can take each other's weight, but not so far that they're not touching. So, and then your left hand on the belly, the right hand on the belly is the normal flow for this. But today we're going to put left hand on the heart and right hand on the heart. And then just take a few breaths. Get reacquainted with the ground now you're lying on it. Examine your body where it's touching the ground. And you'll probably find places where you're bracing, holding yourself tight against being supported by the earth. invite you to try and let 1, 2 of those go. In general, just invite your body to release. Doing it automatically. Support it, go with it. Let your toes not be held back by your feet. There's so much subtle holding of each of our toes in place. Let them go. Breathe your mind into the ball of your feet. Let it relax. Let the arch open. Unwind the heel. If you don't know how to do these things, it's really simple. You let your mind just pull back any control and resistance is giving to your feet, and they'll unwind on their own. It's the natural desire of the body to unwind. And then let the calf loosen, fall away a little bit from the shin bone. The whole lower leg relax, knees, shins, calves, ankle, and feet. You can imagine there's some kind of warm healing syrup flowing down onto your knees, pouring down your lower legs into your feet and down into the ground, and just taking all the tension with it. There's a quality of draining as the tension follows down the line of gravity into the earth. Then letting go the sacrum. The whole area around it. It's right, you'll start to feel a relaxation, a softening in the tissue around the sacrum, and a greater sense of contact with the ground. Your perineum soften and be pulled down to the ground. Genitals, anal region, pull everything under the pelvic floor. And let any tension in your thighs drain your hamstrings, your quads. And now there's just light tension pouring out of your knees down to both your feet and into your lower legs. And on the other hand, into your sacrum and into your upper legs and down into the earth. Beautiful thing is when we give ourselves back to the earth in this way, it's nourishing the earth and it's releasing us. The earth wants us to come to her in this way. Now let the lower back soften. Feel the muscles Direct the spine, letting go. Kidney, liver, spleen, stomach. There's a little subtle holding everywhere that we can just release. As we release it, we're letting go pieces of self and letting our mind just open. Some more letting go of the stomach now, the whole area below the sternum. Then the whole spine, and it's like you can imagine there's a zip that's just pulled up from the bottom of your spine to the top, and all the tension just pours out into the earth. And then the tension inside, in the lungs, the heart, the whole rib cage, the whole torso now. And let your fingers and thumbs soften from the tips down to the base. And then the hands, and then the wrists, and then letting go all the way down into the elbows. Letting the upper arms let go between the shoulders and the elbows. And then like deliberately, let's let go of throat and the jaw. See right now if your jaw is held at all, give a little wiggle. Just invite the muscles around the jaw and above the jaw to relax. The scalp, the skull, and the forehead. Then particularly the eyes. Let the eyes just kind of melt into pools of honey. Looking down, down into the depths. Strip away any tension around the eyes. Let the optic nerve be open and free. Then bring your attention to the whole body as it's lying on the earth. And on the out breath, just let tension just pour from the whole body down into the earth. I'm going to accentuate that for 5 breaths of breathing in. What do I really want to let go right now? What can the earth take them and carry? Slowing down. Letting your awareness be really present and really grounded. Letting go any sense of trying or practicing and just allowing this to be what you're doing right now. Letting yourself show up in your full commitment, in your full strength, in your full power. In your body, in yourself. I want you to find a place right in the center of your heart. So imagine at the height of your physical heart, there is a line running through you from the front to the back. And imagine there's another line running through you from the right to the left, just a little in front of the spine. Let your awareness find the place those lines meet. And you can use your breath to do this. So on the in-breath, use the breath to just quest around in the center of your chest there for the point of most openness. Know it when you find it, there's kind of like an empty point that your breath can just enter. Point with no resistance and no story. So just breathe into that point. If you don't think you quite found it, just set an intention for your breath to migrate to that perfect point. And let your attention be on your breath as you're breathing right into the center of your chest. Let your breath lift your hands towards the ceiling. On the in-breath, as you're breathing right into the center of your chest, just pour more of yourself into the center of your chest. And as you breathe out, just stay in the center, in the heart center. On the in-breath, any sense of self, the story of narrative of life or anything just gets pulled down into the heart. Not giving up any of our stories, we're just allowing our hearts knowing to be centered. Really accentuate the fullness of the in-breath for the next couple of breaths. So as you're breathing in, ensure that your fingers are lifting towards the ceiling, your sides opening out, and your back is pushing into the floor. And really, really take the next breath in fully. And then let go into the earth behind the heart. We're just going to keep doing this for a little while. So breathing into the center of the heart, opening fully. And then there's a doorway in the back of the heart down into the earth where we breathe out. Breathe into the empty open space. And as we breathe out, we may be aware of some armors, some tightening, some constriction behind the open space. Breathe out through that. Let that opens up. As we breathe into the heart, feel friendly to the breath. As we breathe out, we relax and soften the back of the heart into the earth. Breathing into the wide open space. Then relaxing and opening behind us. Letting our awareness go back down into the earth. In the next out breath, let's feel a space beneath us that's about 6 feet deep. Like breathing out into that 6 feet deep space behind the heart. Just letting our mind open and expand to the space behind us. Breathing into the wide open space in our heart. Clear space. As we breathe in, that space gets a little bigger. Well, friendlier. Help you. As we breathe out, we pour all of that down. Now going 15, 20 feet even below us in the earth. Breathing in. As we're breathing in, we're allowing the feeling texture of the heart to be present. And as we breathe out and let go, let the feeling texture of the earth be present. See if you can feel a warmth in the earth. An acceptance, a holding, a parenting. Letting our bodies be held here like infants lying on the mother's belly, softening, opening, complete trust and complete release. Breathing and filling up more and more of the chest. Dropping now down to 100 feet behind us. you to have the experience we're dropping into the earth. Energetically, we haven't left the heart. Kind of like the heart is opening and expanding into a heart the size of the earth. Heart that wants to take away our pain, our tension, our stress, our stories. So I'm going to count to 3 and say go. When I say go, we're just going to remove any bottom from our awareness. Just let ourselves feel thousands and thousands of miles of space underneath us. One, two, three, go. Aware of the ever-present and ever-loving earth. And just open the back of the heart to be filled by the love of the earth. Whatever that looks like and feels like to you. It could be a subtle and silent harmonization. It could be a flood of light pouring up from the depths into your heart. But the tender places inside you don't normally allow yourself to touch. Let them be touched by this larger love. Seen, held, and I want you finally to bring your attention to the core of the earth. So 8,000 miles, that's about, well, sorry, no, 4,000 miles rather. About 8 hours by 7:47 beneath us. There's a 3,000-mile wide rotating crystal of molten solid iron. Your heart can feel the magnetic field. So just for a minute, imagine that that's true. Imagine your heart can feel the magnetic field of the rotating earth, pulsing a few times a second. Imagine you can feel that pulse right in your heart center. Now use that pulse as an anchor for letting in the love that the earth has for you right here, right now. letting your being be as wide as the universe. Aware of your body lying here on the ground. As big as the sky. Aware of your heart. Its resonance with the earth. Aware of all the hearts in this room. Feel the solid ground you all share. What it's like. We're all connected to the earth. And feeling all the hearts in the world. What it feels like to bask in all that love. Just receive now. Take the risk to receive love fully and deeply, so every cell in your body can receive it. And from that place, bring your attention right back to the center of your heart with no force. Just letting your heart center under your hands. Your center. The Buddha talked about the heart mind. Anywhere you ever see Buddhism, the word mind, it can equally be translated as heart. It's an experience available in your heart from this point. Different kind of knowing. When we let our mind be the servant of that knowing, the head be the servant of that knowing, then we can truly be said to have awakened Bodhi, the Bodhicitta, the awakening of the heart. Let the rest of the practice go. And all we're doing right now is just like looking with amazed curiosity and wonder at our hearts. These organs of blazing consciousness that are networked with each other and with everything. Now let the rest of you bow down to your heart and receive the love that your heart is always radiating. Invite any split between your heart and your mind, or your heart and your genitals, or your heart and anything else, to let go and be resolved. And let the whole body be in coherence with an open heart. Okay. We're going to very gently lift ourselves back into seating position. So really stay with the heart, let the heart move, and let the body move around the heart. Take a moment, feel the core of the earth, all the love down there. Let your base melt and open. Let your perineum be as open as it's ever been. Feel the earth rushing up, welling consciousness through your central channel, lifting up to your crown, and your crown to the heavens, body relaxing, awareness centering right back into the heart. Let yourself be friendly, friends with your heart, let your heart be friends with you. Let go any tension that getting upright brought into you. Self be as relaxed as you would on the earth. Let yourself be aware again of your connection to the internet of hearts and the magnetic field of the earth, magnetic field of the hearts in this room. Just let every other practice go. Let yourself be present right now and anchor whatever gift you want to take from this into your day. Make an intention the next time something that looks like a problem comes up. Just going to drop back in and see it from here. And now take left hand to the right hand. the heart. We're going to tone again, and then we're going to all bow out together. So breathing in. Let's bow out.